Persistence. Keep going. Keep praying. Just as the persistent widow did, Jesus uses a parable to teach that people should always pray and not lose heart. He teaches that it's the persistence that accomplishes your desired outcome. In other words, persistence gets you what you want. He told a parable that consists of two people. One was a poor widow who had been mistreated and defrauded of the few earthly goods she still had. The other person was a wickedly selfish and corrupt judge who feared no one. He had no fear of God, nor fear of his fellow man. In the parable, there the widow is harmed. We don't know the exact nature of the infraction against her, but it appears to be severe enough to cause her to seek justice from the only person in town who could avenge her injustice, the town judge. Unfortunately, the judge was unjust and cared for no one but himself. He had no fear of God, nor had he any fear of his fellow man. The parable teaches that it was the widow's persistence in pursuing the judge that eventually wore him down. In fact, the judge states that her persistence was injuring him. Listen to Jesus tell the story. It's recorded in Luke 18:18. Then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart, saying, there was in a certain city a judge who did not fear God nor regard man. Now there was a widow in that city, and she came to him, saying, get justice for me from my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I do not fear God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. Then the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge said. And shall God not avenge his own elect who cry out day and night to him, though he bears long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. In philosophy, this kind of teaching is called the lesser to the greater line of reasoning. If the unjust judge, the lesser, decides to avenge the wrong done to the widow because of her persistence, how much more will God, the greater, avenge the wrong done to his children who call out and cry to him day and night? So, if your situation appears hopeless and there seems to be no end to what you're suffering, keep seeking God in prayer. Jesus teaches that God hears your prayers and that God wants you to keep on praying. Don't give up. And God, who is righteous, will avenge you, just as the unjust judge avenged the widow.